皆さんこんにちは and welcome to Shogo's podcast. So this podcast is the Omake talk of the video where I talked about the gender inequality in Japan. Yes. If you haven't seen the main video yet, it's inside the description box. I hope you can take a look at it first and then come back here to the Omake talk. And for those of you who have watched the main video, thank you very much for taking the time to watch it. I hope you learned something new about Japan. Yes. So, in the main video, as you saw, I focused on the global gender gap report, was it? Yes, to talk about the gender inequality in Japan. Japan being one of the lowest countries in the world, and so on and so forth, right? Yes, but as you, of course, as everyone understands, gender equality, inequality. This is a really, really complicated theme, isn't it? Yes. It's like, what is real equality? And is equality actually a good thing when men and women are actually different? And what about the LGBTQs and what about transgenders? How did they fit into the system or into the story? And it's really, really complicated. So the Omaka talk today, I guess I really want to ask for your opinion, what you think, what your views towards gender equality or inequality or gender itself, yes, in general. Yeah, I would like to tell you what I feel. My opinions. This is completely personal, very different from the main video, which I spoke based on historical facts or on data. This is completely my personal opinions, so I hope you can understand this before you continue listening, okay? So, before the timing, when I started to seriously think about equality or inequality between men and women, was when my wife got pregnant with our first daughter, actually. Yes. So that is, yeah, just almost about 4 years ago, actually. Yes. At that timing, it was our first baby, and you, of course, women, mothers would get very sick when they get pregnant. They would, it's really hard. Their bodies are very hard. They get sick. I'm saying the same thing over and over, but yeah, it's a really tough experience, right, for mothers. Yes, and as a man, as a husband, as a father, watching her going through all the pain, I was by her side when she gave birth to our first daughter, Hinata, too. The whole time it took more than 20 hours to give birth to our first daughter, but I was by her side the whole time, and I watched her fight through all the pain. Sometimes losing her consciousness and then waking up again with the pain. Just continuously doing that for over 20 hours, and it was a really shocking, and it's definitely something that I will never forget in my life. Yes. So when I experienced this whole thing from the moment she got pregnant and until she gave birth, and after giving birth, our first daughter did not sleep at all during nighttime. She would wake up every 15 minutes, and I was actually able to sleep, but my wife, she couldn't sleep like maybe 2 hours straight for about an year. The longest we could sleep was for like an hour straight, and then our daughter will wake up again. So even at nighttime during the day, like an hour is the longest you can sleep in a row, if that makes sense. So, as I was watching her, again, going through all this, the challenges, I guess, of being a mother, I was like, why does it have to be just my wife suffering from so much of this? Like, I wish somehow, somehow we can share the pain, of being pregnant, of giving birth to a baby. Why can it be half and half? Why am I just, standing here, sitting here, watching her suffer everything? And, of course, I did everything I can. Do all the house chores, for example. I, of course, held our first daughter when I could, but I can't breastfeed her, and there are a lot of things that fathers can't do. Yes. So I thought, why is this world so unfair? Yes, that was the first thing that came to my mind. Yes. And then I started studying a little bit about, I guess, ancient ideas towards gender. And I got to this study. of yin and yang. So that would be ancient Chinese theories, I guess you could say, where they stated that in the idea of yin and yang, men represent death, actually, and women represent life. Yes. So what this means is that if you understand on how men and women's bodies work, like for example, men doesn't have periods, or we don't get pregnant, we don't give birth to babies, and our bodies are bigger and stronger, right? Yes. So in the idea of yin and yang, this death and life idea, so when something like in ancient times, I mean, if something happens to the tribe, for example, if vicious monster or like I don't know an animal came to attack the village, or if there was a group of the group of people that came from a different tribe that attacked them, who should be responsible to fight and die? It was men, because men could fight anytime. Basically, we are always, of course, of course, men have ups and downs too. Of course, we have ups and downs, but basically, we're always healthy, right? We're always capable of fighting, moving around, hunting. Yes. So if someone had to die, if someone needed to be sacrificed in order to protect the community, it should be men. Yes. And on the other hand, women needed to survive to protect the next generation. So if there was two choices of living, one person can live, one person can die, it should be men who would die and women who would live, because they could give birth to the next generation, also protect them and raise them and care for them, right? So I thought, and at that moment, everything just came, I don't know, everything made sense, I should say. Why I cannot get pregnant, why I can't share the pain with my wife, it was because you needed someone in the community to be fully healthy. Because if, for example, if this was ancient times, my wife got pregnant when she was giving birth to baby, if someone, for example, started to attack us, or like we needed to go hunting like in the past, right? Who would go hunting if we were sharing the pain, right? Everyone would be lying on their beds and no one would be able to move around, right? So I thought, okay, so it is a different era. Because as I explained, about the Edo period, no man has to die anymore. Yes, no man will go outside, get attacked by wild animals, or, being suddenly attacked by someone or shot by someone or anything, right? Yes. So I thought, okay, I get it. So it means that men needs to definitely work harder than women. Because if we don't work harder than women, the balance is definitely what should I say, it's collapsing, if that makes sense. Yes. So this is completely my personal opinion. Yes. I'm just sharing this with you as a friend. Yes, I hope you understand. I feel that like in Japan, I was explaining that Japan has the least number of husbands who help out with house chores, right? My opinion, I would say that men should do all of the house chores. Now, do I do that? No, I have my wife do the cooking in the house for us. I do everything else though, washing the dishes, doing the laundry, vacuuming, everything else I do actually. Yes, that's because if we want to balance out the death and life idea of yin and yang, for example, men don't have to die. That means we need to do a lot more work in order to be fair or equal, I guess you could say, with women. If you don't have the strength or the will to work harder than women, what is the purpose or existence of men? Why do we exist? It's to protect our family and to fight for our family at any time, right? Yes. And then today, because we're all protected, we should really always, at least this is my idea towards men, yes, and especially to my, what should I say, fellow men, Japanese men, especially in my generation, who, for example, if that person believes that he doesn't have to do any house chores, he just has to go to work and then come home and act like a boss, just want to say that, come on, wake up, It's a different generation, and we really should have a different attitude towards as a husband, as a partner. So it's really sad to hear, like, for example, friends talking about, their husbands not helping out anything in the house, or, the wives, for example, my friends are working, they're taking care of the kids, doing everything inside the house, and they're still given orders by their husbands at home. I think this is just so shameful, embarrassing for me. I'm a person that tends to be rather be strict myself and to my own community. So some people tell me that Shogo, you should like your own country more. Don't say so many bad things about your own country. But no, I love myself. I love my country. Yes. But that is the reason why I want to be very strict, because I care. Yes. So what I'm trying to say is, as a conclusion, should we men and women should we be completely equal? Like for example, if there is a couple, like to, for example, us, my wife and I, if we had, for example, 10 amount of jobs, let's say 10 for just an example. Like let's say my wife got pregnant and she had to give birth to a baby. If we continuously do the same job, like 10 and 10, wouldn't it be really hard for my wife to do that? Like eventually after giving birth to our baby, she has to do the breastfeeding and everything, and we still had to do equally the same job of 10 and 10. It's gonna be a little bit unbalanced, don't you think? Yes. I think that men should do 15 and then the wives could do 5 because they have to still go through all the sickness of getting pregnant, for example, and everything. And even if you don't have kids, I mean, you still do have periods if you're a woman, right? Yes. And I understand that's it's a very difficult experience too. It comes every single month, right? Yes. So yeah, my answer, to make a long story short, I'm sorry this is getting really long, but I feel that gender inequality isn't about like saying everyone will get the same amount of jobs or same amount of tasks. It's about this is not like, what should I say, specific. It's not this is just, I guess, again, based on my feelings, but we should definitely have more respect. I guess that's definitely the first step. And in the end, completely doing everything equal is probably not the best thing, at least in my opinion, yes. We should have equal occasions or opportunities, definitely. We should have equal opportunities, but should be the amount of tasks or jobs we do always be equal? I would say no to that, yes. So this is my personal idea towards gender equality, yes. Please feel free to say no, that's not right to me. Please do so. But I really wish that we could keep the conversation nice. Yes, if that makes sense. Yes, I don't want any, like, what should I say? Any arguments are fine, I guess. If we could just all choose our words, I guess. Yes, when we do our conversation. But I would love to listen to your opinions and hear what you think about gender equalities, because again, if cultures change, if countries where we live change, I think the ideas would be completely different. So I hope you can let me know about what you think. Yes, and if it's okay for you, for example, if you're an LGBTQ or if you're a transgender, please give me your opinion about that as well. By the way, yes, and I always sometimes I have people through DMs on telling me that that there are transgender, there are LGBTQ. They ask me, could we still be friends? And I always say, of course. Why couldn't we be friends? Yes. I always think that everyone can be themselves, regardless of gender and everything else, but everyone can be whoever they want to be, yes. So if it's comfortable for you, if the comment section is not, you can give me a DM through Instagram. Anywhere is fine. It'd be great if you can tell me what you think about this topic. Okay, thank you so much for listening. All right, so everyone, it's the end of the podcast. So again, my dream is to make Japan a better place for everyone who wants to travel, study, and live in Japan. Because I know that there are a lot of people who have their hopes and dreams in Japan, studying Japanese, studying our traditional culture, wanting to enjoy the nature, the food, the culture, and everything. But Japan is facing a lot of severe social problems right now. We're losing our traditional culture, and the younger generation are suffering from all of these troubles that are going on in our society right now. So I want to solve the social problems. I want to preserve and also evolve the traditional culture. I want to support the younger generation, help them out, create businesses for them to work in. And I want to pass down the good parts of Japan to the next generation in the world who have their hopes and dreams here. Yes. And again, my first step is to achieve 1 million subscribers by the end of next year. So it'd be great if you can help me out. All of your likes, all of your comments will help me to boost the videos to new viewers. And again, I really, really appreciate your support. Alright, everyone, thank you so much. ありがとうございました。